Is China's political and economic system better than the United States? Let us find out the truth. Macro Save News presents Chinese-ism, the most equitable political and economic system. Throughout human history, societies have organized themselves into various political and economic systems. In theory, the goal has been to manage resources, maintain order, and address the needs of the population. These systems have evolved over time, reflecting shifts in ideologies, technological advancements, and changing societal values. In this video we will examine the major political and economic systems that shaped human civilization. Then, we will examine a political and economic system pioneered by China. China calls it socialism with Chinese characteristics. We call it Chinese-ism. Let us begin with the 7 major political systems since the dawn of civilization. 1. Tribal societies. 2. Monarchy. 3. Feudalism. 4. Absolute monarchy. 5. Democracy. 6. Totalitarianism. And 7. Communism. Tribal societies. Among the earliest human communities, tribal societies were based on kinship and shared ancestry. Leadership often emerged from a combination of age, wisdom, and prowess. Decision-making was typically collective and decentralized, with oral traditions playing a crucial role in passing down norms and values. Monarchy. Monarchies involve a single ruler, often a king or queen, who holds absolute authority over the state. This system was prevalent in ancient civilizations like Egypt and Persia, where rulers claimed divine rights to their power. Monarchies varied in terms of centralization and the extent of aristocratic influence. Feudalism. Feudalism was prominent in medieval Europe and Japan. It was characterized by a hierarchical structure where landowning lords granted land to vassals in exchange for military service. This decentralized system aimed to provide protection and governance in the absence of strong central authority. Absolute monarchy. During the Renaissance and Enlightenment, absolute monarchies consolidated power with the king or queen. While they still claimed divine rights, Enlightenment ideas influenced some monarchs to adopt reforms in law, education, and governance. Democracy. Democracy emerged in ancient Greece and experienced a revival during the Enlightenment. It involves the participation of citizens in decision-making processes, either directly or through elected representatives. Modern democracies vary in their degree of representation and the balance of power between branches of government. Totalitarianism. Totalitarian regimes, such as Nazi Germany and Stalinist Russia, exerted complete control over society and suppressed dissent. These systems emphasized state ideology, propaganda, and strict surveillance to maintain authority. Communism. Communism, as envisioned by Karl Marx, aims for a classless society where the means of production are collectively owned. This system seeks to eliminate socio-economic inequality through a transition from capitalism to socialism and ultimately to communism. However, historical implementations often led to authoritarian rule and economic inefficiencies. Now, let us examine 6 of the 7 major economic systems since the dawn of civilization. 1. Subsistence economy. 2. Mercantilism. 3. Capitalism. 4. Socialism. 5. Communism. And 6. Mixed economy. Subsistence economy. Early human societies relied on subsistence economies, where individuals produced only what they needed to survive. These economies were primarily agrarian, with limited trade and specialization. Mercantilism. Mercantilism, prevalent in the 16th to 18th centuries, emphasized accumulating wealth through exports, colonization, slavery, and protectionism. Governments controlled trade and industry to strengthen national power. Mercantilism was, and still is in many forms, the system Europe and later the United States have used to become powerful and rich. Capitalism. Capitalism promotes private ownership of the means of production and encourages competition in a free market. In theory, prices and production are determined by supply and demand, with profit as the main incentive. Various forms of capitalism exist, ranging from laissez-faire to mixed economies with varying degrees of government intervention. Regardless of theories and claims, capitalism has always benefited a few, not the majority. Socialism. Socialism advocates for collective ownership or control of major industries to ensure more equitable distribution of wealth. Socialism seeks to address the obvious injustices of capitalism and provide essential services and equality to all citizens. Communism. As an economic system, communism envisions a classless society where resources are collectively owned and shared. Production is based on need rather than profit. However, early practical implementations often led to central planning, inefficiencies, and limited individual incentives. Mixed economy. Many modern economies are mixed, incorporating elements of both capitalism and socialism. Governments intervene to regulate markets, provide social services, and address externalities, while still allowing private enterprise and competition. However, mixed economies like those in the United States and Europe have a multi-party political system, which has long proved to be inefficient, as it only benefits the rich. Now that we have examined 6 of the 7 economic systems, let us examine the last one. The most equitable in human history. The one pioneered by China. The one China calls socialism with Chinese characteristics. We call it Chinese-ism. As a political and economic system, Chinese-ism has emerged as a unique political and economic model of success for humanity. It is far from perfect, but a lot closer to be the most equitable. But what exactly is Chinese-ism? Well, it is very simple. It is a type of mixed economy, where socialism and capitalism are mixed. Chinese-ism is a political and economic system, where a central government is in charge of both the political and economic systems of the country. The truth is that this type of central authority, governance, and control is not new at all. Households have been governed like this since the dawn of civilization, where typically the man tells everyone what to do. In this respect, the head of a household can be considered authoritarian, totalitarian, dictator, and tyrant. Therefore, we should consider carefully how we refer to and criticize a government like the one in China. Because we have been born and raised under the command of a central authority. Regardless of our political beliefs and associations, and regardless of how we want to call it, communism, socialism, dictatorship, the facts remain that China's political and economic system has proved beyond reasonable doubt that a central government controlling capitalism is the most equitable political and economic system in human history. None of the other political and economic systems has delivered so much good for the majority. No doubt China has still a lot of work to do to improve. For even though China has lifted more than 800 million people out of poverty and grown a middle class exceptionally, there is still room for more equality. Xi Jinping, the current president of China, already talked about a more equitable society, where everyone shares the country's prosperity, not just a few. Again, we can call it derogatorily communism, socialism, and any other name we desire. However, how we call it does not change the facts. Democracy and capitalism as it is known in the United States and Europe, benefit a very small group, not the majority. For example, government officials are elected according to the amount of money they have available to campaign. This system gives all the advantages to the very rich, who has unlimited wealth to fund campaigns. The Western countries are plagued with poverty, homelessness, high health insurance and education costs. China's political and economic system, on the other hand, is not perfect, but so far it has proved to be much equitable, more just, more fair. When evaluating the worth of a political and economic system, it is imperative we appreciate the community, not the individual. To appreciate the community and reject individualism, we just need to ask ourselves a few humble questions. What could make me think that if I want food, someone else does not? What could make me think that if I want shelter, someone else does not? What could make me think that if I want healthcare, someone else does not? What could make me think that if I want lots of money, someone else does not? Why do I call it democracy, human rights, freedom of speech, free market, when it matters to me? And why do I call it derogatorily communism, socialism, dictatorship, oppression, when it matters to someone else? We can certainly go on asking ourselves similar questions for everything we need and want in life. But we do not need to, do we? It is in our best interest to understand that if we want a better life, others do too. China has proved that a central government is by far more efficient to control political and economic matters. Let us realize that somehow we accepted all the other political and economic systems that came before. Why not give ourselves the chance to try a new system that promises so much for the majority? What do you know or think about China's political and economic system? Share your comments with us. We want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Engaging in a healthy exchange of thoughts and opinions can lead us all to a better understanding of different cultures, political and economic systems, and our current view of the world. If you enjoy this type of content, subscribe, like, share, and click notifications. To support the channel, please visit www.patreon.com/macro-save. Thank you for watching and your support. Spread love and peace.